Board Vice President Mark Wilson, Randy Gassman, Superintendent of Schools Dr. Denise Guy, Assistant Superintendent Chris Cooper, and Assistant Principal Will Burton. Each of us sends our best wishes and our sincere gratitude to all family members, loved ones, and friends who are serving our great nation overseas at this time. I also want to draw attention to the group of people who made today possible. I have the teachers of Abilene High School. Please stand and be recognized. Also, in our audience, if we have any teachers from the district or anybody who's associated with the schools, whether it be bus drivers, custodial staff, lunch staff, paraprofessionals, please stand and be recognized as well. Graduating high school isn't just about 4 years, it's about 12 years. It's a process that requires a lot of people to be involved. And everybody who stood up has had an incredible hand getting you here today. Today's been a long day coming for many of you. When you came through these doors as freshmen 4 years ago, you were implored to think about the future and to work to do everything possible to make this day a reality. And here you are. You all know the reputation that your class came to this school with. Labels like that are grossly unfair to everybody, yet they still exist. And it's not just in schools. Various parts of society will group similar people together using abstract, arbitrary terms. Those kids. Teenagers today. Tuesday Fight Club girls. Band nerds. Science geeks. And the absolute worst of the worst, high school principals. Labels are meant to easily identify us and categorize us so that we don't have to deal with individuals. It is much easier to dismissively say, sheesh, these teenagers today, so that we don't have to take the time to actually get to know and understand what you really do and who you really are. It keeps us from having to do anything real, such as acknowledging the thousands of volunteer hours that this class has put in over the last 4 years. It keeps us from acknowledging that nearly 40% of you will graduate with academic recognition in just a few minutes. They also keep us from acknowledging that collectively, this class of graduates has saved 228 lives over the last 2 years through their blood donations. Labels also keep us, for some reason, from having to accept that you all came together in times of tragedy and stress and helped support your classmates and their families when they needed it the most. I think maybe that we use labels to make things easier, but we fail to understand that the labels that we choose are really a reflection of those who create the labels more than anything else. Every generation feels that they were the zenith of accomplishment, and that every subsequent generation fails to live up to the high standards that they have set. I want to share a quote with you, and I want you to try to figure out who this may have been said about. Quote, "The counts of indictment are luxury, bad manners, contempt for authority, disrespect to elders, and a love for chatter in place of exercise. Children began to be the tyrants of their households. They no longer rose from their seats when the elder entered the room. They contradicted and argued with their parents, gossiped before company, gobbled up the food at the table, and committed various offenses against acceptable tastes, such as crossing their legs. They tyrannized over their teachers and their studies." Okay, I want you to raise your hand if you think that that was a quote about this generation of student, your generation. All right. Some of you think it's you. Could it be reasonably stated about this generation that that is true? That's the ultimate question. Now, raise your hand if you think that this was your grandparents speaking about your parents. Okay, in the crowd, you can't see this, but they're going like this. They want to acknowledge the question, but they don't want to be seen by their parents and maybe raising their hand. My grandparents are called the greatest generation. possible that this quote that I just read was said by their parents about them. In actuality, that paragraph was written in the year 1907 by a graduate student who was studying the complaints about young people in ancient times. It was also falsely attributed to the Greek teacher and philosopher Plato, but it doesn't really matter who said it. What matters is that the attitude about the current young generation goes back about 2,500 years. The complaints about you are nothing new, and they've been levied against us all when we were young. The beauty of labels, such as these, is that it's incredibly satisfying when you shatter those labels. It doesn't matter who you are, or where you come from, or if you wear a cord or a sash around your neck, you can destroy each and every one of these labels that has been used to keep you misidentified. Your graduation today is a continuation of the destruction of those labels. Move forward from today and dedicate yourself to ending these stereotypes, these labels, by working to make the world a better place. Act in service to those others before yourself. Be kind. Accept people for who they are and choose to give respect and dignity freely simply because it is the right thing to do. This is how you can continue to help make the world a better place, one person and one day and one fewer label at a time. Thank you very much, graduates, and congratulations to you all for your day. At this time, I ask the National Honor Society President, Susie Geiger, to come to the stage to give her remarks.
Today is the first day of the rest of our lives. For the last 4 years, we have been growing like flowers in a garden patch. We've been stretching our legs like runners at the starting line. How much would you all hate me if I continued to spout off cliches like that for the next few minutes? Oh man. Don't worry. My number one goal in writing this speech was to not come off as generic. I don't want this to be some pointless metaphor about our life's journey or our bright futures. I want to recognize specifically what about my class got them here and what's going to make the rest of their lives so good. And I'm sorry, parents, teachers, relatives, I'm not going to be mentioning too much of you in this speech. I didn't write it specifically for my class, but I don't think you guys need an outright thank you. Any praise I give them is praise to anybody who supported them and who impacted their lives. And if these kids are as good as I think they are, they'll have already thanked you much more meaningfully than I can. Right, guys? Get busy. Okay, so my first goal when I was writing this speech was to figure out what is the biggest benefit high school gives us. Friendship? Cliche. Memories? Yeah, but so does every other time in our life. Love? Well, unless you count hallway PDA. So I decided to think, what was most important to me throughout these 4 years? Or throughout these 7 years, I guess. I'm sure some of you who think I'm a nerd would assume it was my GPA. It was. It was. Well, frankly, when I went into middle school, I didn't have anything else. I couldn't sing, I couldn't draw, and despite being very tall, I know I couldn't play basketball, nor any other sport, and I had no social skills. But I could read, and I could write, and I could put unnecessary large amounts of work into class projects. And I remember one time, grades were such a big part of my life, that when Mrs. Garber put in a 10 important thing about high school. It makes that one really impressive quality in a person so evident. Humility, honesty, whatever it is. And it makes, don't get me wrong, extracurricular activities are great. They allow you to grow and to blossom, but when I think about all my memories, it really makes me wish I could give these guys a cord for being funny, for being accepting, for being tolerant, for having good hard work. And then I thought, why not? Now, before I do this, I want to say I really am glad I put so much work into my academics. I think it developed a good work ethic in me, and I'm glad I gained recognition for it, but seeing these chords kind of reminds me of how often I put academics over what's really more memorable and more important about our class. So, I decided I'm going to take this opportunity to call out a few of my classmates in a good way, and share some of this recognition with people I think deserve it a lot more than my GPA does. And if I could ask you to please raise your hand if I call your name so I know where you are. Micah? One of the highlights of my senior year was working with you on the trebuchet project. I remember me and Julie thought we were going to be so helpful during that. We thought we were going to be working with power tools all cool-like, and we went out to your house and proceeded to stand for like 4 hours, dumbfounded, watching you work your magic on that thing. You had every tool, you had a solution for every problem, and you managed to turn what probably would have been a year's work into one night. And though that glittery paint job we did was pretty sexy, we do not have nowhere near the level of resourcefulness that you do. And I think your ability to turn 5 pieces of wood into something that can launch a beanbag 30 meters is going to matter way more for you in the end. All right, and it's more than enough to warrant one of my chords. Nicole? Oh, there you are. Oh, man. Okay. I remember back in 7th grade when my social skills were slightly subpar. Things were so bad, I had to write down icebreakers for when I invited people over. And that's part of the reason that I like Nicole so much, and I'm kind of jealous of you. So when we were in Booster and Mrs. Geiger's assistantship together, it seemed like you talked to everybody, and you could joke, and you could tease, and you could gossip with anybody. And I'm so jealous of that, because I think your communication skills are going to matter way more than a 4.0 will. So, here you go. Grant? All right, Grant, I think overall our school is a pretty tolerant place, but I'd be lying if I said that issues like racism, homophobia, and sexism didn't still exist. They exist everywhere. But I just think I'm not trying to get political here. I know it's a bad idea. I'm not going to get political. I'm just saying it's kind of sad that a lot of boys in our class kind of reluctant to support things like gay marriage because they think they're going to be labeled. So I remember one day when we were doing this project in government about creating our own political parties, we had to choose our stances on certain issues, and Grant got in front of the class to present, and I'm like, oh, here's another, popular stray boy who's either going to disapprove of gay marriage or just avoid the issue entirely, and instead he goes there and he defended it in front of all the classmates with really compelling reasoning. And I had no idea that he was so accepting and so brave in sharing his opinions, and he really surprised me that day, and he surprised me all year, frankly. And I think that's more than enough to warrant a chord. Aubrey? Okay. Now, I know you've never been reluctant in sacrificing your time, your effort, and your money for other people. I know that because I kept you awake for hours on end with questions about call papers. I think there's one incident, though, not one incident, one thing that exemplifies your generosity. I remember one of our classmates was going to miss the trip of a lifetime just because he couldn't quite afford it. And instead of just sitting back and saying, that's too bad, like any other person would, she went straight from empathy to action, and Aubrey helped paid for that trip. That cost well over $1,000. And, I mean, if I could give you a piece of cord that's worth as much as you are, I would, but I have to pay for college too. And I know you already have all the cords that I was going to pass out, but seeing as how we're both going to the greatest university in the world, I thought you'd give me my red and blue one. Rock chalk. Oh! Do you remember when Taylor wrote that article about you that was called The Captain America of AHS? I mean, if you don't, I don't blame you. It was our first booster of the year, but I mean, it never left my head. I remember, in fact, your descriptions of basic training was one of the first things that came to my head when I was thinking of this speech. Remember one line in particular where you said, the hardest part of basic training was having to crawl 100 meters through the sand, under barbed wire, while it was raining, while machine guns were shooting live rounds over your heads. One kid apparently even got shot. And I remember thinking, holy crap, I can't even do a push-up without lifting up my knees. Oh man, I don't think there's anybody in our class that's as strong as you, and thank you so much for serving our country. And your bravery and perseverance are worth more than any cord I could possibly give you. And if I had a red, white, and blue one, I would, but I'll just give you my Scholar's one because it is the prettiest. Now, guys, I could go on and on if I had the time and the force, frankly. Heck, if you listen to my 20-minute Eisenhower speech, you know I could go on and on. I could talk about how funny Jeremy is, how easygoing Julie is, how hardworking Chad is, and Sage, I could write a research paper about your good qualities. You're enthusiastic, you're funny, you're hardworking, and you're my best friend. And I hope Oklahoma enjoys those qualities, because I'm really going to miss them. And in fact, I'm going to miss all your good qualities. I know our classes have the best reputation, but when I think back, all these memories, I know that we have just as many strengths as any other class, if not more, because I feel so much more fulfilled when I think about those memories than when I look at my stupid report card. I mean, that 4.0, those awards, our trophies, our medals, they're all going to be long gone in a few years or long lost. But the qualities that I just mentioned they're not going anywhere, neither are our memories of them. I'll miss you guys, and I'll see you at the reunion. Good luck. You're not going to need it.
Susie says she could go on and on for a long time, and I would enjoy to hear it if you were to do that. You could listen to that all day. This graduating group of seniors has provided Abilene High School with great achievements in the classroom, in the arts, and on the playing courts, fields, diamonds, and tracks, and classrooms of Abilene High School, and in our great community. Although we have recognized many of these accomplishments and ceremonies prior to this afternoon, we have several in the areas of academic achievement and citizenship that we are pleased to present at this time. First, we would like to recognize those students who are wearing the assorted honor cords and sashes. Would the following students please stand and be honored? Those students who are wearing the orange and brown cord representing our honor graduates. Those students wearing the white stole and or blue and gold cords representing National Honor Society. wearing a gold stole representing FBLA. Those students wearing a blue cord representing FCA. Those students wearing the pink cord representing journalism through the AHS yearbook. Those students wearing the black and silver cord representing journalism through the AHS booster. Those students wearing the red stoles representing Family, Career, Community Leaders of America. The student wearing the white cord representing completion of the Culinary Arts pathway. Those students wearing the rainbow cord representing Scholars Bowl. Those students wearing the red-blue cord representing the AHS Jazz Ensemble. Those students wearing the purple cord representing Spurs. Those students wearing the red cord representing volunteerism or significant donation to the American Red Cross. Those students wearing the black and gold cords representing the AHS Singers. Those students wearing the red and white cords representing completers in the teacher training pathway. Those students representing forensics. Those students wearing the peacock cord representing GSA. And those students who will be serving the United States of America in the U.S. Armed Forces or National Guard. This time I will ask Ms. Cashman and Mrs. Dutt to come to the stage. Next we will present the Kansas State High School Activities Association Citizenship Award to two seniors. This award represents excellence as an exemplary young citizen who has demonstrated a marked respect for country, assumed responsibility for improving school and community, and has shown reverence for life. We are also very pleased to announce that these two outstanding young citizens will be receiving the Eisenhower Citizenship Award granted by the Eisenhower Foundation here in Abilene. President Dwight D. Eisenhower was a graduate of Abilene High School, and he shared the values represented by these two CASHA Citizen awardees: respect, responsibility, and a concern for the well-being of others. Each year, only one young man and one young lady are chosen for this honor, which includes a $1,000 award to be applied to their post-high school educational needs. This year's recipients were selected by the faculty of Abilene High School. Micah Coe and Micaiah Dykes, please come forward to receive these awards. Congratulations to Micaiah and Micah. Each year, we also present the Dale Dennis Excellence in Education Award to a senior who meets specific criteria in the areas of citizenship, service, scholarship, and common sense. This award is sponsored by the United School Administrators of Kansas and was selected by the Abilene High School Administration. This year's recipient is Michaela Wassenberg. In introducing this year's valedictorians, please note that we have several and that there will not be a salutatorian award. Recipients of this award do so by earning a perfect 4.0 grade point average through all 8 semesters of high school. Susie Geiger, Courtney Geist, Taylor Thompson, and Sage Stokash, please come to the stage to be recognized and receive their medals. Seniors at this time will present roses to their parents in appreciation of the love, the sacrifice, and the determination that is necessary to make this afternoon possible. Give everybody a second to wipe their eyes. I'm introducing to the stage and the podium, Mr. Mark Wilson, Vice President of the Abilene USD 435 School Board. It is my pleasure to present the 2014 graduating class of Abilene High School to Mr. Mark Wilson.
Thank you, Tim. Have all the candidates completed the requirements for graduation as set forth by the Kansas State Board of Education and the USD 435 Board of Education?
Yes, they have.
Then on behalf of the Board of Education and USD 435, it is my pleasure to accept the class of 2014 as candidates for graduation from Abilene High School.
Mr. Wilson and Mr. Gassman will be presenting our diplomas. Matthew Dean Allen. Sierra Grace Alvarez, cum laude. Kylan Rayanne Anderson, magna cum laude. Blake Donovan Anguano. Matthew Gil Anguano, cum laude. Allison Lee Fading. JC Nichelle Fire, cum laude. Quade Robert Baugh, cum laude. Chad Allen Beach, magna cum laude. Hannah Elizabeth Bell. Jeffrey Ralph Bender. William Howard Bishop. Maggie Jean Bowling. Sabrina Lynn Boyd. Molly Lois Burt, summa cum laude. Shaylin Marie Burt. Noah Scott Callis, magna cum laude. Christopher Lee Cease. Amber Christine Clark, cum laude. Caitlin Alyssa Clayball. Michael Lee Davis. Katrina Sue Detweiler. Haley Renee Devine. William Tyler Dickerson. Megan Joanna Dryling. Micaiah Cottrell Dykes, summa cum laude. Zachary Thomas Els. Colton Lane England. Dustin Michael Engel, cum laude. Tyler Jacob Feldkamp. Madeline Paige Flynn, magna cum laude. Kinsey Reed Ford, summa cum laude. Susanna Lee Geiger, summa cum laude. Courtney Jade Geist, summa cum laude. Jesse Winslow Goodwin. Shannon Faye Pega. Dylan Lee Hafner. Jacob James Hagedorn. Reuven Margot Hyde. Taylor Ray Heinrich. Alexander Guthrie Henley. Ethan Carl Hodges. Taryn Audrey Holt, cum laude. Ty Maverick Holt. Taylor Marie Hoover, cum laude. Justin Garen Hauser, cum laude. Emily Ann Johns, summa cum laude, and birthday girl. Austin Michael Johnson. Ashley Zacchaeus Jones. David Edward Keating. Chelsea Lynn Keller. Keel Curtis Kelly. Drake Vaughn Kohler. Micah James Coe. Isaiah James Lahr, cum laude. Brianna Chelsea Lake. Charday Jeanette Long, cum laude. Slade Wyatt Barkley. Nolan Mitchell Maiden. Austin Miles McDonald. Edward Levester McCoy Jr. Killian Alvin Milner. Shelby Lynn Nelson. Dominic Antonio Oliva, cum laude. Mara Elise Pastrana, magna cum laude. Jesse Edward James Patrick, cum laude. Caitlin Elizabeth Priller. Samantha Cheyenne Ram. Haley K. Rife. Travis James Richardson. Mackenzie Cabry Riffle. Weston Lee Riffle. Kane Logan Rosales. Savannah Dawn Roth. Cum laude. Aubrey Joe Sharps. Summa cum laude. Haley Michelle Schischler. Tyler Austin Schiffner. Cum laude. Carson Ray Sherbert. Jeremy Paul Smith. Cora Alexis Sprouse. Tana Nadine Stafford. Summa cum laude. Trenton Lloyd Stafford. Austin Dale Strunk. Julie Marie Swartz. Summa cum laude. Rex Joseph Talley. Nicole Lynn Taylor. Taylor Nicole Thompson. Summa cum laude. Sage Thomas Tokash. Summa cum laude. Malin Evelyn Turnbull. Alexandria Marie Walters. Summa cum laude. Michaela Leanne Wassenberg. Magna cum laude. Lance Michael Westfall. William Hunter Whitehair. Paul Andrew Willis Jr. Caitlin Nicole Willis. Summa cum laude. Shelby Virginia Willis. Christy Marie Wilson. Summa cum laude. Cody Lee Wyckoff. Brooks Dylan Youngmark. Summa cum laude. The graduation tassels attached to your caps are a centuries-old item that, when turned from right to left, symbolize the point at which a student is officially graduated. Seniors, please turn your tassels.